Hello everyone, and welcome. In this tutorial, we'll learn how to add an expansion module to the Schneider Electric M172 PLC and configure the I/O mapping correctly. After that, we'll see how to use those expansion I/OS inside the PLC program. Let's begin by adding the expansion module. The expansion module is connected directly next to the main PLC controller through the expansion bus. Open the expansion bus section and on the right side, you'll find the available expansion modules. You can choose between the different M171 and M172 expansion modules. For this example, we'll use an M171/M172 expansion module. Click OK to add it. Now you'll see different I/O configurations available, such as the 12, I/O and 28 I/O versions. Select the one that matches your hardware. In this demonstration, we'll use the 12 I/O model. As always, after making hardware changes, build the project to verify that everything is configured correctly. Next, we'll configure the analog inputs. Since we selected the 12 I/O expansion module, provides 4 analog inputs. Just like the main controller, each analog input can be configured for different signal types, such as 4 to 20 milliamperes or 0 to 10 V. For this example, I'll configure all 4 analog inputs as 0 to 10 volt. The module also provides 2 digital inputs and 6 digital outputs, giving a total of 12 I/OS. Next, let's create the field I/OS. We'll add variables that represent the expansion module signals. First, I'll create a Boolean input called pump trip. Next, I'll add an analog input called temperature, using the integer data type. Finally, I'll create a Boolean output called pump high temperature alarm. These variables are only examples to demonstrate the configuration process. In a real project, you would create variables that match your application. Compile the project once the variables have been created, assigning the I/O mapping. Next, we need to assign these field I/OS to the physical expansion module. Open the I/O mapping for the expansion module. For the digital input, assign the pump trip variable. For the digital output, assign the pump high temperature alarm variable. For the analog input, assign the temperature variable. After completing the assignments, compile the project again to verify there are no errors. Next, let's move to the programming section. In the previous tutorial, we already created a basic program using the main PLC controller. If you look at the variable list, you'll now see I/OS from both the main controller and the expansion module. For example, pump auto belongs to the main controller, while pump high temperature alarm and pump trip are connected to the expansion module. You can use these expansion module signals exactly like the main controller /OS when building your control logic. As an example, we'll add a simple logic using the pump trip input together with a NOT gate. This is only a basic demonstration, but in a real control project, you can build much more advanced logic using these expansion /OS.